Breath of the Wild is a massive game full of endless amounts of content, but what if you wanted to finish the game in less than 30 minutes? Well, this is all made possible from the amazing discoveries made by the speedrunning community. From simple pathing optimizations to game-breaking glitches. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the best speedrunning tricks that have been discovered over the last 5 years, and we'll look at the origins, usefulness, and of course, how to perform them. Starting off with an older trick that has been made somewhat redundant, but still fills a small niche in speedruns, it's the bullet time bounce, or BTB for short. This trick was one of the most useful skills to know for speedruns up until about September of 2021, where a newer and much easier to consistently perform trick was discovered, which will be covered later on. This trick gets used 4 times in the any percent run, well at least it used to. The BTB was the main way of travelling between shrines and to the castle in every single run of Breath of the Wild, as it, if set up properly, saved a lot of time when travelling far distances. This trick also has an added coolness factor, as it looks like a lot of stuff is going on to propel Link into the air, but really it's quite simple how the trick actually works. When Link hits an enemy, which is usually a bokoblin, with a shield jump while in bullet time, he'll get launched at a particular angle with a range of differing speeds depending on where about on the bokoblin you hit, and each time you do it has a specific setup. This trick can be performed pretty much anywhere where there is some sort of elevation and an enemy, but requires a few specific setup steps to get the exact jump you want. Now I'll teach you how to do the BTB. We've got the specific one here where you go from the Stasis Shrine to the Cryonis Shrine. It's this group of bokoblins up in the bottom left of the Great Plateau here. So to start, move Link into this position, while aiming the bow right into this corner here. Make sure Link's feet lines up with this line on the rock. Then you're going to shoot the arrow in the corner and quickly aim at this black spot in the snow over the other side of the camp. Shooting the arrow into the corner gets the attention of this bokoblin, which makes him move into the perfect position for the jump we're aiming to do. Once aiming at this black spot, swing your two-handed weapon twice, and on the second swing, jump forward and shield surf. Right as you're about to land on the bokoblin, around this point pull out your bow and enter bullet time bounce. If done correctly, you should begin flying straight towards the Cryonis Shrine while looking very, very cool. At number 4, we have a much simpler glitch to perform that more than likely most of you will know about, and that is of course whistle sprinting. This easy to perform, simple looking glitch provides a large amount of value in travelling, as in speedruns, any way to shave off seconds is appreciated and largely beneficial, especially for such a simple input. Now if you don't know, whistle sprinting can be easily performed by simply holding down on the D-pad, which is the whistle button, and mashing B, the run button. This will cause Link to partially run without using any stamina, and is good to traverse quickly over longer distances, especially where other glitches or options are not available. Whistle sprinting has been known about since around the launch of the game, and is still used widely across both speedruns and casual playthroughs, as it's such a straightforward and low risk thing to do when travelling across Hyrule. Now we reach number 3, and this is where the glitches start becoming very useful in runs, and start to shave off minutes instead of seconds. Number 3 is shield clipping, which comes in many different forms and has many different uses across the run. Shield clipping is one of the most useful glitches in this game. This is due to the multiple uses across the any percent run, and can even have some special uses outside the Great Plateau as well. This clip is used on each of the 4 rune shrines at the beginning of the game due to the fact that the tower activation is completely skipped. Without the tower being activated, there is seemingly no way to enter the shrines, and that's where shield clipping comes in. By giving Link something called a skew as shown here, we can mess around with the collision of objects due to Link's hitbox being moved far to one side. You can get skew by hitting a surface at a particular angle, and skew is necessary to perform the next part, which is the actual clipping part. Depending on what shrine you are at, or anywhere on the map for that matter, each one would have a different spot to clip through. For the Magnesis Shrine, to set up skew you must jump at this spot here and pull out the shield. Once you have done that, you can check your skew by jumping and pulling out your shield while constantly opening up the rune menu. If done right, Link should look something like this. Once you have skew, you can align yourself with this spot on the shrine. Use these flowers in the water if you're having trouble lining it up. I like to stand about here, aiming the reticle on the inside of this circle here. If done correctly, Link will go straight through the shrine and can perform another clip back into the shrine at the point shown here. Now this glitch can take some practice to pull off, but once you get the rhythm, the glitch is quite easy and extremely useful to do in runs. Aside from shrines, there are some other places around Hyrule where it can be performed. An example of this is in the back of the Yiga Clan hideout. This trick was discovered about half a year after the game's released and completely changed the routing of all speedruns, as the entire tower sequence could be skipped. This glitch still remains useful to this very day and is by far the easiest and most consistent way to get into unactivated shrines. Coming up at number 2 is a much more recent discovery, being only discovered in the last year, and this is one of the funniest and one of my personal favourite glitches in this game, which is the Bomb Lift Smuggle Slide, or BLSS for short. The discovery of this glitch in September 2021 was an exciting one, as it was a massive discovery for the speedrunning community, as one of the core parts of the old route was the bullet time bounce, and this basically replaces it completely. Before BLSS was discovered, bullet time bounce was the fastest way to travel large stretches in the any percent route. These required some setup and could be easily messed up by even the best of runners. But when BLSS was discovered, everything changed. A new, more optimal route was created due to the BLSS needing bombs to work, and the order that the shrines were completed changed from Stasis Cryonis Magnesis Bomb into Bomb Magnesis Stasis Cryonis. This new route saved a ton of time due to the BLSS being super fast and relatively easy to perform and set up. Even just to get to the bomb shrine, a pot could be used in place of the bomb, which allowed the normally long travel time to the first shrine to be cut down greatly. The route to the castle ends up using 6 separate BLSSs, which just shows how useful this glitch is in runs today and how flexible it is to set up and use. After all that, I should probably explain how exactly this glitch works. So what is happening here is by smuggling your bow and picking up an object, in this case a bomb, the object becomes entwined with Link's hitbox, so when you collide with an odd angle, Link will begin to be pushed by the bomb. This is why you see Link doing a funny wiggle in all of these clips. That's because by wiggling, Link is pushed more by the bomb and gains more speed, which is how you can get up to insane speeds like crossing the entire map in only a couple of minutes, which is insane due to the scale of Breath of the Wild's map. Now, with all this background, it's time to learn how to actually perform a BLSS. This glitch is a bit hard to get the timing on straight away, but with a little bit of practice, it just becomes second nature. So, for the setup, all you will need is a shield, a bow, at least one arrow, a weapon, and of course either a bomb or a pick-upable object. Okay, so now we will be performing the BLSS. Now, this glitch or trick is quite easy to perform once you just break it down slowly. There's only a few steps to actually do for this step, and then once you've learned it, you can pretty much do it consistently over and over again. So to begin this, you're going to want to find some somewhat flat ground if you're using the round bomb so it doesn't roll away. A slope that's like this, where you run up to it, Link can sort of walk up on it. So this one here is actually used to get straight to the castle. Gonna drop it, hold shield, tap ZR, and then tap A to pick up the bomb, all in very quick succession. Now that we've got Link like this, you can see the bow's in one hand, the arrow is kind of just floating above his head there, and the bomb's above his head. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press X, B, and plus in very quick succession. So something like this, and if it's done right, you'll see how Link's arm is outstretched with the bomb in his hand. If not, Link will just have the bomb above his head as usual. So once you've done that correctly, you're going to want to unequip the shield, and if done right, Link should look like this, same position as before, just without a shield. Now to finish this off, all you need to do is hold the bow button on somewhere, but don't actually shoot. Press B to cancel, and Link will be in a position like this with the bomb on his hand. If you walk over to this little slope here and hold B, Link will get launched into the air like this, and he's in this sort of like levitating state. And to pick up speed, we're just gonna look back, wiggle left and right, and this starts to push Link to where we want to go. Once we've got enough speed, we're going to look forward. It's important when in this state that the left stick is always out. If it ever becomes neutral, Link is just gonna drop, as well as if you let go of the B button. So yeah, it's a bit finicky at first, but with a little bit of practice. Starting off with a major one, which used to make up like half of runs, is the stasis launch. This could be used on rocks, trees, metal objects, just any object that you can stasis. And pretty basic, you would stasis the object, hit it a few times, use an arrow to get the trajectory right. Link would then jump onto the object and be launched with it. So a very basic, old school sort of method, but we do actually still use one in the run, and that's the rock right next to the stasis shrine, and this just helps us get up the mountain a lot quicker than usual. Another glitch that is actually very important in the run is the Sheikah Slate Clip, which is actually the first thing that will be done in any run, and it's quite a big one as it skips the whole opening cutscene and allows Link to get out of bounds. It's also used later on in the castle for more advanced runs where you clip out of bound, then use like a wind bomb to jump over the one section, another wind bomb, and then go back inbounds, and it's just a slightly faster route in the castle. Finally, just wanted to touch on numerous like menu glitches. These include like item duplication, item corruption. These glitches are often quite advanced and quite complicated, so I won't go into them, but just know these can be really powerful. And if you want to learn how to do it, you can just search up on YouTube and you should be able to find a tutorial pretty quickly. So, taking out the #1 spot for the best speedrunning trick in Breath of the Wild is wind bombing. Now, this trick is one of the most useful tricks to learn in Breath of the Wild as it's easy to perform and highly useful. Wind bombing is a relatively simple trick to perform as all that's required is a paraglider, bombs, and some sort of height to jump off of. With some simple timing, this trick is very easy to perform in a magnitude of locations across the map and can be even linked together to cross large distances, both vertical and horizontal. Wind bombing is such a versatile trick to know how to do because not only does it get used several times on the Great Plateau, both to skip shrines and for traversal, but once you unlock the paraglider you can start wind bombing wherever and whenever you want, as it's such a simple and not resource intensive glitch to perform. By using this trick, not only can you traverse much faster than usual, but you can also skip entire sections, with the prime place to do these being inside shrines, as the walls aren't climbable unlike most of the world. So, by wind bombing you can pretty much skip the entirety of the shrine challenges. So, what's actually happening is very simple for such a game-breaking glitch, as all that is happening is that you're using the round bomb to propel the square bomb into Link at super fast speeds, which in turn launches Link due to how the physics work in Breath of the Wild. So to perform this trick, you're going to want to find a ledge of some kind, preferably one where you can line yourself up with a cardinal direction or at 45-degree angle to one. The reasoning behind this is that the square bomb will always drop with its sides facing each cardinal direction, meaning that to get the best and most consistent connection of the bomb hitting and launching Link, it's always best to try and line yourself up with these cardinal directions, at least when starting out. The next steps involve a lot of different button presses in quick succession, so feel free to rewind and play again if you're trying to learn it. So first you're going to want to jump forward, tap L to drop the circle bomb, immediately enter bullet time by tapping ZR, then switch to the square bomb, press L again, then switch back to the circle bomb, blow up the circle bomb with L, and if you do all this right, Link will get launched into the sky at high speeds. So that might sound like a lot, but once you have it down to muscle memory by doing it over time, it becomes second nature and just another movement option in Link's massive trick arsenal. Ever since its discovery in late 2019, wind bombing has been such an amazing and useful trick across runs, and its flexibility, coolness, and overall use in speedruns of this game is why it gets the #1 spot. Hey, thank you for watching this far into the video. You are amazing. If you have gotten this far, you should definitely subscribe because you managed to put up with however long this video was. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos, or if you think I missed something important in this video, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next vid.